Hello, hello, and welcome to another exciting episode, excuse me, of Skeptics and Seeker Sunday Sermon Shorts. Been a while since I've done a good old-fashioned short. I just want to mention this. I posted this link just a few moments ago on the board. It's from the Christian Post. If I didn't already have a short that I was doing, I may have done this one. Excuse me. But I think it just speaks to something. I'll just read the headline. Trump says Iran's whole civilization will die tonight if no deal reached to reopen Strait of Hormuz. I posted that link with the comment. Nice to know that biblical genocide is still alive and well in America. I mean, holy cow. And the Christians are wondering. They're confused about why young people are not interested in Christianity. So the short that we're doing today, young people leading the charge, own a non-religious identity. Analysis claims. Bible Society responds. Okay, the Bible Society, not very long ago, released a thing. They've been crowing a lot. You know, how Christianity is on the rise with young people. And, we've talked a little bit about Justin Brierley's newest book. I still haven't read it. I will at some point. But, he's crowing about how, religion is coming back, baby. It's back. And last time I was on air with Matt, we talked about this at the end. I think there were a few people still hanging in that. I think Darren was there, and I can't remember who was still there. But it's this idea. I've seen the drumbeat of it over maybe the last year. Christians so desperately need this to be true right now. They need this message in this moment. Now, in another moment, it serves their purposes to talk about, how Christianity is not, how it's not doing so well. There are reasons for that, good marketing reasons for that. But right now, it's kind of existential. They need Christianity not to be dying because it seems, got a lot of crud in my throat. Sorry about all the nasty little noises. It seems like Christianity, American-style Christianity, is a couple of generations from dying out. It does not have long for this world. Yes, it seems large and in charge right now, as dying creatures usually are in their last moments of life. The church really feels that way, but it is literally a couple of generations right now, unless something really happens, because the church is very gray. I have nothing against old people my age and older, but the church is full of old people. In some churches, really old people. They haven't seen anyone in their 20s in at least 20 years in their buildings. And those people don't like young people all that much. I mean, many of them. Um, so their churches will die. Churches have been dying. Churches that I attended as a kid, so many of them are not there. They were already really old. Some of them had kids, black communities in the South 40 years ago, 40, 30, 40, 50 years ago. They had lots of kids. And they're dragging their kids to church. You're going to church. So you would see kids in the church, but they've as the kids grow up, they do not replenish the pews. And more, since the 80s, 90s, bad years for the church, um, the kids quit going as soon as they get old enough to tell their parents, yeah, no, I'm not going. And they don't come back. So a lot of those churches, they're just dead. They're just dead. Um, and that is the situation, and it's been like that for a long time. And so churches look for any sign of a pulse. And when they find any sign of a pulse, boy, do they crow. And what they do not realize is that progress, no matter what kind of progress you're talking about, no matter what category you're talking about, it could be the stock market, it could be freaking evolution, social evolution, anything. Um, if it has been going in a certain direction over a number of years, decades, centuries, eons, it's never a smooth line. It's 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps back, 4 steps forward, 2 steps back, 5 steps forward, 7 steps forward, 3 steps back. It's always like that. It's always like that. And that's why you look at the trend over time and not drill down so deeply in the details. If you want to learn, things that are really useful about trends. And so we have it that in the trend of churches shrinking, aging, and dying, there are always stutter steps in the other direction. Always have been. Oh, this year we did pretty good. Oh, this year we baptized more people than last year. And then the next 7 years, the numbers go straight down. And then the number goes up a little bit. Yay, revival. And this is how the church does it. This is why you have to really kind of do the math on this. You've got to watch the numbers. You've got to watch the trends over a long period of time. And so when it comes to these types of stories, you could accuse me very much of picking and choosing because I'm looking at the trends. I am right about the trends. It's hard to be wrong about them. And I don't talk about every little stutter step here or there. I try to look at major touch points. And the church is trying to market itself back into existence. And I'm calling out the bullshit. However, in this story, I know it's a long introduction. This is actually a long story. I'm not going to read it all. I hope that you do, though. It's one of those stats stories. One of those survey kind of stories, taking the pulse to see where things are. So let's dig in and read a little bit of this. I think that you will find some of it as interesting as I do. I hope so. Days after YouGov retracted Bible Society's Quiet Revival data, a new analysis contends that non-religious identity among young people in the United Kingdom, particularly those under 35, is a permanent shift rather than a temporary phase, prompting a response from the non-denominational organization. Did you catch that, folks? We've been seeing it. We've all been seeing it. We could see it. Emperor has no clothes. Anyone who's been looking has been seeing it. Let's see. A lot of links here. A lot of links. Skip that one. Baystone, 4,120 fully and partially completed responses. The BSA, I think that's the Bible Society A Association or Alliance or something like that. I'm not sure. Survey. No, I don't think that is. This might be a different one. So forgive me. The BSA survey found that 61% of 16 to 34-year-olds identify with no religion. Okay, let me put it this way. A little under 2/3 identify as non-religious, and these are people under 34 years old. Now, they say some things about this that are really pertinent, and I want to jump the gun and just say them myself, but I'm going to try to read far enough in here to get to it. So let's see how far I can go. 94% of the 16 to 34-year-olds, can I just say under 35s here? 94% of under 35s raised as non-religious still identify with no religion as adults. This is huge. Basically, what they're finding in Britain, if you weren't raised with religious nonsense, you don't get it later. That's kind of a change. That's worth talking about, at least it's worth thinking about. It goes on, while 4% of people in the same age group raised as non-religious adopted any form of Christianity. I don't know what they mean by any form, so they're using the big tent, broad brush to cover Christianity. So I suppose a lot of things get lumped into Christianity, and Christians will take anything. If you're not outright, Richard Dawkins, they will count you as a Christian. We might see a little bit of that if we get far enough in this article. The data shows that non-religious identity is not a phase young people pass through. It is settled. It is a settled and stable world view. Humanists UK's analysis asserted. Janet Ellis, the president of Humanist UK, asserted in a statement Thursday that the figures suggest young people are living thoughtful, value-driven lives without any religious framework at all, claiming that they are doing so with confidence and joy. Janet Ellis, how dare you? This is a sword right through the religionist's heart, don't you know? You humanist demon. Are you trying to hurt your Christian brothers and sisters? Because the whole moral argument nonsense that Christians often try, how can you possibly ground a meaningful life of goodness and thoughtful living and joy and values without God? Never mind all of the answers I've given. survey says to those Christians, fuck you. Oh, I like the survey. For young people, labeling them just as nuns or nun religion can be misleading because it implies an absence, the Humanist UK president stated. But what they actually have is a positive way of being in the world, looking for evidence to know what's true and looking to friendships, hobbies, and relationships to give life meaning. You know, as we've been saying for decades. Sorry, that's me. That data confirms what many of us already know. For a growing majority of people in Britain, humanism, the idea that we can live well and do good without gods, is simply how life is lived, Ellis said. The BSA data also suggests that half of the population in the UK now identifies with no religion, and half of them were raised with no religion. According to Humanist UK, the data reveals that near total collapse of the Church of England identity among younger generations. While 21% of over 75s identify as Anglican, that figure falls to just 2.6% among under 35s. The secular group noted across all respondents, only 10.7% now identifies Church of England, down from figures that once placed it as a majority faith tradition in Britain. I just want to pause here for a moment, because one of the things that Christians are going to say is, yeah, Church of England, liberal shit. But you know what the numbers are not suggesting? That young people are leaving that liberal shit and filling up the pews of the evangelical shit. That's not happening. It's back to the article. The publication of the analysis follows YouGov's reaction of research that reportedly found a rise in church attendance among young people in parts of the UK, which the Bible Society described as a quiet revival. Revival! 2 people got baptized. Revival! YouGov, which carried out the research in 2024 for the Bible Society, announced in March that after a reanalyzing its data collection, it had discovered that the data sample for the Quiet Revival report contained a number of respondents who we can now identify as fraudulent. Can you believe it? Can you believe that Christians might answer surveys fraudulently? No way. No way. Say it ain't so. That doesn't say how they figured that out or what the nature of the fraud is. But in case you're wondering, there are lots of ways to do it. I think the most obvious way to do it when someone comes asking you questions like that and you understand the context of the questions and what data they're looking for, you say, oh, yeah, Christianity. I love Jesus. I was just converted last year. You know, and now the numbers look good. if you get a lot of people giving those kinds of fraudulent answers. Fraudulent. Oh, crap. Andrew Copson, chief executive of Humanist UK, argued that the data in the Quiet Revival report was always implausible, which I have been saying for a long time. Look around. This is not what those quote unquote positive growth numbers is not what real surveys show. But let's get back to it. Claiming that it contradicted the findings of other surveys. Yeah, you think? As well as attendance data from Anglican and Catholic churches. Let me talk about data from churches. In my experience, okay, so we're just talking about one person's experience here. That is some of the most useless data you can get for anything. Do not let churches tell you about their attendance and or / membership. It's a lie. First of all, they don't really know. They don't keep those kinds of records. There's some churches that do care about things like that and do try to keep real records. Now, they may never tell you in the public what the real deal is, but they'll keep them. But here's the thing, and this is what corrupts the records. When people leave the church, they don't mark that name off. They're part of the church forever. There is no official leaving the church policy for the vast majority of churches out there. People who just stop going. They're baptized one day, they stop going 3 months from now. If the church keeps names on the record, that name is still on the record. In churches that do pull names off the record when people request it, sometimes they have to sue for it, still aren't terribly honest about their numbers. And so they don't go back and check their records and ask, hey, what happened to Mr. Jones and his family? They haven't been here in like 14 years. You think we should take them off the books? No. God's still working on their hearts. This is terrible data. The British Social Attitudes Survey is the gold standard for a reason. It shows clearly and consistently that Britain has become a majority non-religious country, that younger generations are leading that charge, and that there is no evidence of any reversal. Copson stated. It's talking about long-term trends. Not talking about the 2 steps forward, 1 step back that all trends take. It is time for our public institutions, from Parliament to our schools, to catch up with the reality of who the British people actually are, he added, in response to any injury from the in response to an inquiry. Oops, my thing is dying here. Plug in. I gotta power up. Let's see, 20%. I'm still okay. All right. In response to an inquiry from the Christian Post, a Bible Society spokesperson cautioned against concluding that young people who identify as non-religious lack spiritual beliefs, noting that this is an area of study in development. Hey, you, what do you mean by spiritual exactly? What exactly are you talking about? You see, back when I was young, if a person started babbling about spiritual, we just assume they're going to hell because they're not Christians. Yeah, do you believe in Jesus? I'm spiritual. Fuck you. But now they're the hope of the church in Britain. People who might hang on to some kind of spiritual belief. That might mean that they believe in ghosts. Hey, that means we still got a chance. Yeah. The spokesperson referenced the Bible Society's latest report, The Quiet Revival, 1 year on What's the Story? Which he said provides counter evidence to Humanist UK's claim. I'm going to stop right there. There's more article to read, and I encourage you to go forth and read it, or maybe do something useful with your life. Maybe you don't want to delve too much on this stuff until, I don't know, 8 o'clock Eastern time tonight. When America is openly threatening, we are going to genocide the fuck out of you. We're not going to decisively win the war. We are going to end your civilization. But come back, under 35s, come back. Holy shit. All right. Well, that's me. How about you? Let me know, skepticsandseekers.squarespace.com. Log in your Discuss account and discuss away. Send me an email, skepticsandseekers@gmail.com. Until next time, I will see you in the comments. In the meantime, I'm out.